So Cambodia and Thailand are beautiful vacation destinations. Now, history, culture, food, the people are just some of the nicest in the world, right? And so it comes as a surprise that when you hear that the two neighboring Southeast Asian countries are fighting using artilleries and airstrikes along a border that has never really settled into something both sides fully accept, it just comes as a surprise. It's very weird. On the surface, and if you don't know the region, this conflict can look like like a remote clash over a forest or rocky hills, but it grows out of history, it grows out of national identity. And of course, the politicians, day-to-day politics in both countries, make it very, very difficult. Now, the trouble centers on stretches of the border where the line is still disputed, obviously, including the area around an old temple complex claimed by both governments. Courts and technical commissions have tried to clarify the boundary, yet school books, political speeches, local memories still tell different stories about who belongs where. And so people who live in these border districts can often find their homes, fields, religious sites sitting in zones where patrols overlap and authority is ambiguous. So a small confrontation on the ground can suddenly turn into a much larger military problem. Right now, the worrying part is the kind of firepower being used close to populated areas. Artilleries, rockets, aircraft are operating near villages and small towns, and every misdirected shell risks casualties, damaged houses, and displacement. And so border communities often feel the impact quickly. Now, domestic politics on each side can add extra pressure, and leaders in Phnom Penh and Bangkok operate in an environment shaped by economic strains and political competition, as well as concerns about public support. And once that stance is out in the open, media coverage, social networks can amplify a sense of threat, and stepping back or compromising can start to look politically costly, even when the risks of prolonging the clashes are very clear. Now, for people along the frontier, this is not a simple diplomatic dispute, right? Families may spend nights away from their homes, farmers may stay off their lands because, well, they don't know where the shells might be coming. And children can lose access to school, health services, etc., when the roads close or the facilities are disrupted. Border clashes between the two nations are likely to remain volatile in the short term, with artilleries and airstrikes continuing despite diplomatic pressure and despite partial border closures. Now, over the coming weeks, the most realistic path to the de-escalation runs through quiet military to military contacts and the ASEAN facilitation. ASEAN is the regional bloc that should have the ability to negotiate a settlement of this conflict.